Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl, realtor Aisha McNeil, author, motivational speaker, and your financial consultant. I know that's a lot, right? Listen, everything I do, it is all a bridge to everything. So listen, today I want to talk to you guys. I told you guys previously, we talked about the process before the process of buying a home. Then we talked about getting pre-qualified and pre-qualified versus pre-approval, right? So I want to talk to you guys. I told you about the searching for your home. The next step was searching for your home, right? So searching for your home, you have to make sure of the areas you want to live in, right? Because this is where you're going to live. Or if it's a rental investment property, this is where you're going to visit and have to, you maybe upgrade or whatever you decide to do with your property, right? But let's just say you're searching for a property to live in. So when you're searching for a property to live in, I want you to keep in mind one, location, location, location. I know that's what they say in real estate, but really, location, location, location. Why? The location has to be convenient for you, right? It has to be convenient to where you're going to be able to get to work. You want to shop and do what you want to do. You want to maybe go to the park, work out, want to go to the gym, whatever that might be for you. That's serenity. Or whatever that location and lifestyle you have in mind, that's what you want to stick to. If it's something that you thought about, something that you dream about, and some place that you really, really want to be, I would say, and especially if you're making a huge investment on this home, right? It just makes sense to be happy in the area that you choose. So don't just choose the area because you're desperate to own. Choose the area because you look forward to that lifestyle, right? In that community. So for some communities have a pool, they have tennis, they have some amenities like a gym as well. They may have a clubhouse where you can rent. If you guys like entertaining and you don't want anybody at your home, you have the option to have an entertainment or book signing or whatever have you event, right? At the clubhouse. So I remember when I bought my condo, I threw an event for releasing my second book in the clubhouse. It was so cool because I was able, it's a cheaper venue. I was able to, of course, you get a code for your visitors to come in. And in addition to that, it wasn't expensive at all. I think I paid maybe $50 deposit and it was like maybe $25 to rent out or something like that. All I know it was like maybe $75. And that was cool because I was able to have food and everything over there and fix it up and a nice intimate venue. So look at the lifestyle that you want to live when you're searching for a home. If you want to take advantage of using the clubhouse by the pool, because we have a clubhouse that's by the pool where I live at, right? And so we can actually rent out the clubhouse as well. Now we can't keep people from coming to the pool, of course, but we still have our guests to come to the pool if you have an event. So these are for people who like to have entertainment but don't like people in their house. Not everybody can come into your house. It's a different type of energy, okay? So listen, all I'm saying is know your lifestyle and what you want to do when you are looking for your home. So here you go. So you're searching for a home. You got pre-qualified. You was in position. Um, you ready to look for a house. You get pre-qualified or pre-approved. Boom. Now you're searching for your house. You know the location you want to go to, right? Now it's time to go to these open houses or to schedule with your realtor to see properties so you can get into the property and get to see how the electricity, get to see how the water run, get to see how the tub and everything, the plumbing, the electrical, everything it is. You want to try those things, guys. Don't go into a house and just look at the house and like, oh, I can see myself living here. Turn that water on, see if it's brown stuff coming through it, black stuff, see if it's working properly. Um, if the AC isn't on, try to turn it on and see if you have some issues coming on because your inspector is going to do that anyway. Um, then you want to make sure that the plumbing, flush the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Go in another bathroom, flush that toilet. You know, um, Go to the basement, make sure everything looks clean and copacetic. Listen to the walls. You might be like, Aisha, why are you talking about listen to the walls? Listen, bring a cup, bring a glass, I don't care, but listen to the walls. Okay. You want to make sure there's nothing crawling, like, I mean, like I said, your inspector is going to listen to some things and see some things, right? But all I'm saying is, when you're looking for a home, you don't want to buy a home and be surprised. You know what I'm saying? So search for the home, look through the home, listen to the home. Yes, listen to the home. Y'all always say walls can speak. Some walls do talk. Okay. But seriously, seriously, I want you guys to get the best home that you want. And when you deal with me, I mean, I'm telling you, I put in two offers for a property. Well, let's just say one offer, the first offer I put in, I had, before I submitted that to my client, I took a look at the disclosures, the seller disclosure before that. Now, when I'm doing this offer, something like, I'm talking to my broker, we going through this stuff, and it's something tell us. I mean, little questions we had, like, if this FHA approved, like it wasn't on, the listing. Let me verify the FHA. Then all of a sudden, something tell us to check the seller disclosure. But before that, then we had to. What happened was, once we tried to figure out if it's FHA approved, right? Because it should be in the notes. You would expect it to be in the notes, but it wasn't. It's okay. So then we had to go in and um see something, right? We was wondering why we couldn't get in. So we wanted to be able to access the third, because it was a third bedroom and we couldn't access it. And so my broker called the person, right? I'm gonna just say person. Y'all know, the other person selling the home, right? So called the person, and she asked no, she asked something if it was FH approved, and then I told her the concerns, and then all of a sudden we found out that there was a a roommate, and that the roommate was just served a 60-day notice. So I'm like, okay, how are we gonna close in 30 days if somebody's got a 60-day notice, right? You can't. So now, unless I was looking for an investment property, but it would have been okay to accept the person with a tenant in there already. The concern was a person who was paying monthly but wasn't able to be seen, no contact roommate. And that kind of alerted me, because when we went, the person act like they wasn't there. And it's kind of scary because you don't know what type of tenant you're gonna get in your rental property. You don't know what kind of tenant it is inside, and plus, you want to be able to put your own tenants in, or look at least to see if you have some good tenants, right? But we were not able to see that. So something alarmed us even more. So we said, okay, since that's the case, wait a minute, a 60-day notice, we want to close right away. So let me look at this disclosure. Now, mind you, I sent my client the disclosures. And I asked my client, I said, did you look at the disclosures? He said, no. I said, what do you mean you didn't look at the disclosures? He said, no. I said, listen, you got to look at the disclosures. It's to protect you, okay? So we looking at the disclosure, and we find out other things like, don't know when the HVAC had the property, like 13 years. And don't know when the HVAC system was put in, because the HVAC system is your heating and cooling AC, right? Um, you need to know that when it comes to HVAC, plumbing, electrical, you need to know, and roofing. When was the roof done? I don't know. Um, because apparently it must have been a rental property and the person never lived there. So they don't know when the HVAC system. First of all, when you buy it from someone, you want to know these things. So I felt like it wasn't sometimes. And when I was going to the school for real estate, what they said is, do not take the disclosure on face value. And I would definitely advise buyers, just because you have a seller's disclosure, do not assume that that is true. And I'm not calling the seller a liar. What I'm saying is that you have a legal obligation to do your due diligence. If you fail to do your due diligence, it's not on the seller, because those are things you could have found out by having an inspector. And some people are so desperate buying homes because they want the seller to pick them. I'm not moving my client to be in desperation. I'm not doing that. If we put in 5 offers and we don't get accepted, then we just don't get accepted, and we're gonna find the one that God knows is for us. I'm not pushing my seller, my buyer, to be desperate and forego um an inspection. That's not happening. I'm not pushing my buyer into buying something as is because they're so desperate, right? Because even if it's as is, that seller still has an obligation in certain areas to make sure that certain things are proper, or that seller could still be held accountable, right? So what I'm trying to say to you guys is when you're searching for where you want to live at, make sure the location is wonderful for you, is convenient for you for your lifestyle. And in addition, never forego your inspection because it's not on a realtor, it's not on the seller, it's not on anybody else, but you as the buyer, it's on you. So anyway, not only did we not know the HVAC system when it was done after the property was had for 13 years. So normally a system could be changed within 10 or 15 years, depending upon that system. Because my, I'm glad I have such a client who's into that area anyway. So that person should know when the HVAC system was serviced. It wasn't even known when it was serviced. In addition to that, the fireplace, don't know if it worked or not because they never used it. And I understand that. But when you're talking about selling your property, you want to make sure, I was on the buyer and the seller side, I made sure I did a little bit of fresh paint over certain things when I was selling my property. Anything that was cosmetic that I could fix, I fixed it before I had people come in and see it. So I knew my HVAC system was serviced. I knew everything was serviced. I knew everything was well. I knew the toilet was good. The plumbing was great. I knew the cosmetics was good in the condo. I knew. And so I like to, on my disclosure as the seller, I was honest and upfront with everything. So I had no problem in selling my property. I put it on and then went under contract like in a couple of days. Not even a month. It didn't stay on the it just didn't stay up too long. And plus it was a great area, right? So I got what I asked for. I kind of basically went with the first person because I was, you know, just wanted to get it over with and get it done. But it was really simple and easy. That's why my story is not everybody else's story. So it was really simple and easy. Thanks to that realtor that I had for my as a seller, I really valued her and appreciated her on getting the property up, sold. The pictures was done. She was very professional, and I really greatly appreciate her. Um, I want to say her name, but she was definitely, I definitely appreciated her as my realtor for me selling my condo. Not for buying my condo, but the one who helped me sell my condo was wonderful. Um, I didn't have to do her job for her. You know what I'm saying? As a layman person, right? So that was good. Um, so once again, do not forego your inspection report. Okay. And according to the home size, you will pay probably from 375 to 1,000. I don't know. It depends on the square footage of your home. I'm not an inspector, but like I said, what I did with my new home now, I think I paid about 375 for the inspector to come in when we went under contract. And then a year later, I got another inspection report. Why? Because I wanted to make sure nothing major. And I'm going to tell you, because I like to make sure that my home is good and secure with great structure and everything, I will continue to get inspection reports for myself. So if there's anything that I need to fix, and I don't think I'm going to sell this because I love this place, but we'll see. Definitely not in this market. But this house we got good and already is great equity in it, so I'm happy with it. But like I said, foregoing like every 4 years, 5 years, I will have an inspection report. It was a new build. The house is still settling, so we have to get a new paint job on certain areas, but it's nothing major. You don't see it. It's just one area, tiny little line or whatever, just kind of cosmetic wise. So I leave the experts to do what the experts do. So, like, why you got an inspection a year later and pay that $500, $400? I don't care. I like to know that my house is good, and being that I'm the first one who had it, the person, if I do sell it, will be happy and good because I kept the house in great shape. So, with that said, once again, I stress do not forego your inspection. So when you're looking for these homes, location, 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 not based on real estate, right? Based on how you feel the location works for you. How does it work for you? Is it convenient for your job? Is it convenient for your maybe next to your rental property or your new home, whatever it might be? Is it convenient to the store, the shop, the lifestyle that you want to live? Is it convenient for you? Right? That's what location, location, location is all about. Is it convenient for you? And if it's not your last home, make sure you probably thinking also, is it convenient for somebody else who might want this home eventually, right? But when it comes to yourself, you're not really thinking about, is it convenient for the next buyer of my home? You're thinking about yourself. Because who knows? Location, location, location might mean something different for them and convenient for them. So it is what it is. It's all about you right now. So get the house you want in the location that's convenient for you and for your lifestyle. Get the house and make sure that when you go under that 5-day due diligence, that you get that inspection ordered ASAP, okay? ASAP. And of course, you can't do anything when it comes to appraisal because the bank is going to take the money for the appraisal, so that's going to get done. But once again, just like the inspection vary according to square footage, the appraisal does as well. So it could be, I think, I'm not sure of the prices since the pandemic, but in 2018 it was at least about maybe $700 to $1,000 or whatever for an appraisal. So that's an addition to your money. That don't come off of any buying price at the table. So please know that that's extra money. So if you're gonna find a couple of houses and you think that, okay, I like this one, I like one, let's get this one, and then you know what I'm saying, you decide you don't want it, remember, you still, after the inspection, if you don't want it, you still gonna have to, like I said in the previous video, you will still have to pay for that inspection as well. Now, of course, you won't do the appraisal unless it's the property you really, really want. The inspection is you might get the inspection for this one property you want under contract, but based on the inspection, there's a lot of things that's happening and the seller's not willing to fix it, or you guys can't compromise. So you decide, I don't want this house, let me go with another one, and you can get out of the contract because you were within your time to due diligence, right? So after the due diligence and you decide you don't want that home and you go to another home, yes, you're going to have to pay for another inspection. I like to let you guys know what's going on because, like I said, I come from a banking background. I come from retail as well, opening up charge accounts immediately on the spot, putting in, referrals to my mortgage partners for my clients, getting their paperwork together to submit that all to my mortgage guy, and making sure that there's no I's not dotted or T's not crossed for my clients because it's going to be a smooth and quickly process. So I'm coming into real estate knowing about credit, knowing about, as a credit specialist, knowing about, mortgage and the process and the documents that you need. And like I said, guys, know what you want when you want what you want and go after what you want, okay? Don't know what you want and then go after something you can live with, possibly, maybe, and not happy. If it's not your last home, hey, you want to take that chance? Great. Turn it into a rental property. No problem. Move on to the next forever home for yourself. But if you bought a home for the first time, that's probably not going to be your last home. We're not like our parents where they bought a home and that was the forever home. Today, most people, like I did, I bought a condo, I sold a condo, I bought a house, right? So I already know that this is not the final house that I have as far as the only one. I look forward to buying another house, something with a basement or something like that. And so I know that this is not my forever all house, but I know that it's rentable. I know that it's livable. I know that it's a great property, a great community, for someone to come here. off the exit of everything. I'm talking about Publix, Kroger, Walmart, um, Home Depot. Like it's by everything. Okay, so I love the area I'm in. I mean, even Dunkin' Donuts, and it's an Orange Theory gym. It's a great exit. So I love the location. Um, so I will say this: make sure when you're looking for your home and you put it under contract, you do your due diligence within that time frame, because if the due diligence pass, you still under contract and you haven't done something, then it's like you're obligated for that because you're in contract and it was accepted. And it was you who violated your due diligence clause. However, if you need to extend that, then you may want to counter and talk to the seller, talk to the seller's agent, and let them know that you need a few more days with your due diligence, because that's when the inspector can get out and stuff like that. But it's called communication. I always told you guys effective communication is important. So when you're in these real estate deals, effective communication is very well important. And you need to be talking to your seller's agent if you have questions, or, with your agent. So your agent can talk to the seller's agent and communicate back and forth, right? So it's like we're your lawyers, but we're not your lawyers. We're your spokespeople, right? And at the same time, we're like your bodyguard. We're I like to put it like that because you got to understand realtors is like your bodyguard. They will guard you against a lot of things that could very well be detrimental to you buying a home. So we want to make sure and safeguard you, and not only put you under contract when you want that contract written for the purchase and sale, but we want to make sure that when we looking and we see sellers disclosures, we looking at that, and we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence in a timely fashion so we can get you right there to the closing table and make you happy. So I hope this video helped you. I know I said Tuesdays, but it could be any day throughout the week, guys. It will be a video per week. I was going Tuesdays. Nobody's really like asking questions. So if you had any questions, I would definitely stay hard and make sure I go with my word on Tuesdays. But like I told you guys before, if you silent, then I could be silent. You know what I mean? Like, that energy, you give me silence, I'm gonna give you silence. But true talk is when there's something to be said, because this process takes some time, and for some is longer, for some is shorter. You could close in 29, 21 days if you really want to. If you know your ducks is in order, you could close, as fast as possible, as long as your underwriters and your lender get to all the documents and everything. You can close as quick as I don't know what. I closed like 29 days, which would have been 28 days closed. Do you know what I'm saying? Once I submitted my application for the property that I found. So basically, you searching for the property, you putting it under contract, the one that you want. They going ahead, you paying the fee with your lender to get it, appraised. You are paying for you are calling your inspector to come out, getting that property inspected. That property inspector gives you a full report within 24 to 72 hours. You'll know what's going on in the house. You know what I'm saying? That you're interested in, that you're going to buy. Anything that's not, that's on the list, you can always ask the seller to correct them before closing, or before, you get it. And he can agree to, or she can agree to do it. And some sellers are pretty nice and they'll say, okay, this is what we do. Or they can give you a credit towards whatever it is. It's all up involving the type of communication you guys have, right? From one agent to the other agent on behalf of the buyer and behalf of the seller. So once you guys go back and forth and decide, okay, let's do this, and the seller says, yes, I'll fix this, or no, I won't fix this, I'll give you a credit, or you know what I'm saying, or it's as is, and then you get to say, okay, it's as is, then it's just, you never know. The seller can give you a credit, or the seller can say it's as is, period. And so it's up to you to take the property if you want to or not. And at that time, if the seller refuses that, then you can say, okay, I no longer am interested in the property, because based on the report, I have more work to do as soon as I get in the property, especially in this time right now where properties are going for more than they paid when the seller paid for, like double times and 3 times. But the seller has their choice to sell how they want to. And the buyer has the choice to make the decision whether they want to buy. So with that said, that is the process of looking. So I am continually looking for my clients. properties that they like and they see themselves enjoying. I will maybe one day eventually have that journey, possibly once it's on the contract, because you can't legally be photographing someone's house, you know what I'm saying, without them saying yes. So I want to make sure that if we come under contract and if my buyer says I can, film it, I'm all about compliance. I'm all about legal respect and pure personal respect. So I will not film anybody's property unless also legally as a realtor, we are told that we should not be filming the seller's property if the seller does not give us permission, and that permission needs to be written. So your girl Aisha will keep you on point in compliance and legal, okay? So I hope that this helps you. For those of you who are looking to buy and looking to sell, hey, contact me at aisha.garealestatellc.com, or you can go to aishamcneil.com and you'll see a link to my Georgia real estate there. And for those of you who are following me on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, share. If you're looking at me and you're not subscribed yet, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the follow. And I appreciate you helping somebody else with this process, because I got to tell you, buying a home could be very, overwhelming a bit, especially if you're not advised properly. And understand that you don't want to get to go on the contract and realize that you don't have the proper financing and it's going to fall through. I just heard in my area, someone was under contract for a home and the escrow fell through and things like that. So things can happen. You want to make sure that your finances are in order and you are in fact pre-approved and pre-qualified for that particular house amount of purchase. Okay. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email me at speakyourdesires@aishamcneil.com or do a contact on aishamcneil.com. Go to my website for new listings every day. You can go ahead and see those listings at Aisha, AYEISHA Garealestateellc.com. Aisha.ga, which is Georgia Real Estate LLC.com. So listen, it's always a pleasure to give you information that can help you. So if I can be of assistance, please reach out to me, whether you're buying, you're selling, or whether you want to invest into real estate as rental properties or whatever it might be. Feel free to contact your girl, Aisha McNeil. And as always, take life by the throat and make it speak into existence what you desire, baby. Peace.